Well, hi, it is Cinco de Mayo, and happy Cinco de Mayo, or whatever you say. Do you say Merry Cinco de Mayo? I have no idea, but it's Margarita Day. Hi, I'm Todd Studer, and this is another episode of Morning Coffee. Congratulations to the CB Captains. They had their home opener. This was the second match of the semi-pro soccer team here in Council Bluffs. They played at Lewis Central on Saturday and defeated Garwo United 2-0, and it was Bado Dumba that got both goals. Looking good doing it. The team looks really, really good. So I encourage you to come out. There's a nice crowd on hand for this home opener. We'd love to see you at the next one. It's coming up on May 17th at 2 in the afternoon. So make plans to be at Titan Stadium. That's Lewis Central's football field. Tickets are only $5, and if kids are 12 and under, they get in for free. And everything on the concession stand was crazy cheap too. So this is a wonderful way to sit out in the sun, enjoy some really high quality soccer. I mean, these guys were good. So please come on out and join us on May 17th. We'll tell you more about that and get the coaches in on a little bit later on as we get closer to the game. Also coming up on the show today, we talk with George Ivanov from The Best Wrestler. George added another title to his resume at the U.S. Open in Las Vegas. It was a fundraiser. We're going to talk with George all about that, about how some of his other athletes did and different things that are going on at the Best Wrestler. That is all coming up on today's show. Also, wanted to remind you that when you need precision metal fabrication done right, look no further than Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs. Custom welding, large-scale manufacturing, they're going to bring your ideas to life with expert craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's industrial, commercial, or custom fabrication, they get the job done on time and built to last. Locally owned, proudly made right here in Council Bluffs. If you have a leak, clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. Fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. You know, they take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing or visit them online, waldsteinplumbing.com. If you're feeling stuck in uncertainty, conflict, or miscommunication, The Spiral of Accountability by local author Carol Horner is your guide to breaking free from the fog that clouds decision-making and relationships. Learn how to recognize negative cycles, shift your mindset, and build a culture of clarity and collaboration at work, at home, and in life. If you're ready to spiral up, get your copy today on Amazon, or you can get it directly from Carol's website, spiralofaccountability.com. Start your journey to a healthier, more productive team. Joining us this morning, it is George Ivanov with The Best Wrestler in Council Bluffs. First off, sir, congratulations. Looks like, you still know how to get it done on the mat. You come back with a championship from Las Vegas.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. Thanks, as always, for having me on the show. I love it. I still got it done somehow.
I want to talk to you a little bit about that before we talk about some of the other young people that you had there, because the way I understand it, you were actually wrestling up in a higher weight class than what you were used to, right?
Yeah, it's something that I didn't really train for necessarily. It was a great cause, and one of our coaches had had a virus and then went into got a disease. I can't remember exactly what it was called, like Gillian syndrome or something like that. Anyways, I'm butchering it, I'm sure, but he went completely paralyzed. His whole nervous system shut down, and
Wow.
that was last January. And since then, he went into Madonna Rehab Center, and then he was able to recover, as well as he can recover in record times. I mean, he was walking around in 3 to 4 months, and he set a goal to run a 5K race by September, and he was able to accomplish this in last September. And then right after that event, he made it a priority to a new goal to compete at the U.S. Open in the Masters division in Vegas in April. And so I was sitting there thinking, man, this guy is a hero, right? If he can do this, I have no excuses. So I signed up for it as well. I had zero expectations, and just kind of wanted to get back on the mat after a 9-year break from the Olympics in 2016. And we went out there, and I had more people sign up than I thought I was going to have. We had I didn't cut any weight. I wrestled 25 pounds heavier than what I did in the Olympics, but we just showed up, and I had 4 matches, and I ended up winning the U.S. Open, which was amazing. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun to have my family and my kids cheer me on while I was competing. That was the first for me.
I'm sure that there was a lot of your students and athletes that were saying, "Yeah, this is all right." And we can see George out there on the mat doing all the same things that he's been talking to us about.
Right.
Did you have anybody else competing there, or was it just you?
No, yeah, we had some kids compete. Um, we had one other person that's a coach in our program, won it as well at a different weight class and different division, and then we had one kid took second, and one of our girls took fifth at the tournament as well. So we had two placers there.
Yeah, that it had to be a ton of fun, and also uh, getting away for a little while. I'm sure, even though you were working pretty hard, it's good to just kind of reset mentally and to get to a different part of the country. And then when you come back, I know for me anyway, that if I go out on a trip and like a hiking trip or something, that's when all my best ideas come to me when I'm not involved and really deep into the day to day operation stuff.
Right, right. No, absolutely. It's definitely good to get away a little bit. Although we were busy, it's just fun to change the environment, meet some old friends. Wrestling is a small circle, so we see friends from different parts of the country, and this is one of the best tournaments because it's literally 10-year-olds all the way up to 75-year-olds competing in there.
Wow.
There's so many different age divisions, and so we were able to see some of the best like legends in the sport, right? Olympic champions, world champions compete on the senior level as well. So this is just such a neat tournament for our kids to see, see basically their idols and see them compete, see them in action. So it's a fun tournament for sure.
Do you think maybe this is something you'll do again, that we could see you in action again?
No, but no, but that's what I said last time after the Olympics as well. And here I am 9 years later competing, but I definitely have no plans of competing again. As much fun as I had, the next day I was as sore as I've ever been. So
All right. Well, what's the latest at the Best Wrestler? What are the things that are going on closer to home?
we're in full swing in the summer. We're doing freestyle Greco, but also we're still reviewing a lot of our folk style moves. So for those kids that are thinking, oh, I'm in baseball or in soccer or football or whatever other sport that they're working on or playing, don't be scared to drop in, and even if it's once a week or twice a week, it's way better than taking 9 months off and coming back and expecting to be in the same shape that you were when you left off. So, we've talked about this before on
Hmm.
the show, but what we're focusing more on is we want to get more kids in the sport. We want to introduce new kids to the sport. So we've created a package for them that's we call it Foundations, and our Foundations program is really easygoing. You can have 3 practices a week, 2 practices a week, or 1 practice a week, and it's for ages 4 and up, right? 40-year-olds and up. And so it's a 1 hour commitment for that practice. It's not a long practice. It's just an introductory to the sport of wrestling and to see if they fall in love with it, and if to see if that workout or that practice can make them a better athlete for the other sports that they're currently in season for. So it's just a an extra practice, you can think of it, to get better at the other sports that they're currently playing.
Is that currently going on, or is it something that's going to be beginning in the future? Where does that stand?
No, it's currently going on at the Iowa Westfield House, and our schedule on that is, let me look it up here. I have it on my phone. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. Is
Okay.
that practice? Yeah.
All right. So it's after school, and even though school's going to be ending very soon, and it'll be
Yeah.
into the summer months, but that part's going on as well. Do they have to sign up online, or where do they go for that?
Yeah, they can go to our website, thebestwrestler.com, and they can just go to the tab that says Best Club, and they can fill out an application, or they can reach out to me at G Ivanov, Givanov at thebestwrestler.com, or just info at thebestwrestler.com. That works as well. Reach out, inquire about the Foundations program, and you can come. You don't have to commit to anything. Come and try it out, see how you like it, see how your kid likes it, and if that's something that they want to continue, then you guys can sign up. If not, no problem at all, right? They can at least come and try it.
Talk about some of the talent that you've seen lately here locally, because we've had. I know that you've had some, state champions, and well, one young lady that just signed with Oklahoma State that has been through your program too. So that level of success kind of breeds success, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always so much fun to see someone like this go through your program, right? I mean, you're talking of Molly Allen. She just committed with Oklahoma State. She's a legend, right, in the women's program, in the women's wrestling, and specifically in Iowa. She's a four-time state champ. She's won, Super 32, which is one of the most prestigious tournaments. She won Fargo, which is again another one. Those two are the most prestigious tournaments in the country, and she's definitely one of the top girls in the whole country for her weight class. And so it's exciting to see that she's going to Oklahoma State. There's a lot of good things happening at that program currently. And but with that being said, it's always fun to have someone like that go to your program. But the reality is that's the 0.001% of the kids with that type of talent. I mean, America's, the United States is such a big country, so much talent, is so competitive that, I mean, winning a national title in wrestling automatically puts you top five in the world in the sport of wrestling, right? So, with that being said, just knowing how competitive it is, it's just hard to expect that every kid is going to be like that, right? But let's not forget why we're doing this. Wrestling is one, it makes them better people in life. It makes them stronger, makes them disciplined. It teaches them hard work, respect, um, perseverance, overcoming obstacles, all these, not making excuses, getting them mentally stronger, right? All these things that they're learning from the sport of wrestling. Even if wrestling is not their favorite sport, they can go on and become 10 times better athlete in whatever other sport they choose to do, just because of all the difficulties that they go through in the sport of wrestling and what it teaches them, right? I mean, what other sports you have to cut a lot of weight, stay hungry, uh, work your butt off, and then go and compete, and you have 4 or 5 matches in one day, and people are trying to literally take you out, right? So it's a competitive sport. It's extremely difficult, but that's why we love it, because it makes us stronger. And so, anyways, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of talent. We have a lot of talented kids. You just never know who's going to pan out, who's going to fall in love with the sport and push themselves, right? Because no one can push them, not their parents, not us, if they don't want it. They have to want it. And part of our job is to make sure they fall in love with the sport of wrestling. And then once they buy in, you never know. We have a lot of talented kids, young kids right now. We just don't know who's going to pan out and who's going to be the next Molly Allen, right? Or who's going to be the next Joe Adams or some of our other elite athletes that have gone through our program.
I'd actually just had this conversation earlier today that life seldom is about the destination. It's about the journey.
Right.
And when you are taking young people with you on this journey, they're learning so many other skills that, as it just mentioned, may translate into another sport, may translate into business, may translate into so many different things. I saw a comment recently that in the NFL draft, I think the top four linemen that were drafted this year had a wrestling background.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's a
I'm not
completely different
surprised.
sport, but yet a lot of those same skills translate into other sports. And that's just one small area where that can happen.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. No doubt. I mean, it's been proven. There's a lot of NFL coaches that come out and say, "Hey, we love our wrestlers that are joining our football programs." Right? I mean, wrestling is such a diverse sport. It teaches you balance, coordination, strength. The physical aspect of it. You're not afraid of confrontation and hitting someone on the football field, for instance, right? Teaches you speed, agility, explosiveness. I mean, strength, right? Like mental toughness, all these things that wrestling teaches you, you can literally apply to any other sport, I believe, and you can definitely apply it in business and life afterwards. So, absolutely, yeah. But you're correct. It's not just the journey of whether or not we achieve certain results. That almost becomes a byproduct of our work. It's the transformation and the person that we become because of all the hard work that we put into it. That's more important, in my opinion.
Well, and also before we let you go, George, I know that you've been getting young people signed up for your big camp that's coming up in June, correct? Is that?
Yeah, we
Yeah, that's pretty soon.
yeah we currently, it's a 20-day camp, and it's for commuters and non-commuters. We currently have kids from Canada and 12 different states in the U.S. That are coming to Iowa to train with us for 20 days. It's a very intense camp, but it's absolutely amazing. We have 50 practices in 20 days. So we
Wow.
have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have 3 practices a day. Wednesday, Saturday, we have 2 practices. And then Sunday, we have 1 practice. And we like to have some fun on Sunday as well. We take kids usually to a pool or barbecue or grill out or something, where we have some fun with those kids. But we have some of the best kids in the country come and train with us for 20 days.
I know also it's limited, right? It's not as if you
Yes.
have just an endless pool of availability that you will run out of space.
For sure, yeah. We only limit it to 50 kids, and we're pretty close. We have probably a few spots open, but this year we doubled our numbers from last year, so I'm excited for that camp.
Is it? What do you credit that to? I mean, is it just word getting out about how
Yeah,
valuable this camp is?
yeah. What we're seeing is all these kids that came last year, uh, and parents, they saw the results. They saw how their kids change again. They literally transformed. Right. I know it's 20 days, but it's not only. Here's what people don't understand. Some people might say, "Oh, in 20 days, what are you gonna teach them, or how much better shape they're gonna get in?" What people don't understand is, one, we do teach them a lot of high level technique, world level technique that they can take notes on. We make them take notes in their notebooks so they don't forget it, and then they go home basically and they have homework. Right, they can continue to work on those moves that they basically took from us, and then two. Uh, the conditioning and the strength that we go through, they definitely are going to be in the best shape of their life. But three, what's more important is going through this camp mentally, just what we teach them, the respect, the discipline, the hard work, being able to push when they're tired and not feeling like it. Mentally, they come out of this camp and they're never the same. And so when those kids go home and parents see that, they just completely fall in love with the camp and the process. We call it the best 20-day camp. But um, and so what we've seen is all these kids from last year, like you said, word of mouth. They've told other teammates from back home, whatever state that they're coming from. We have kids from all over Hawaii, Alaska, Montana. I mean, but Arizona, Utah. But anyways, and when they tell others and they see the result, then they invite a friend or two, and we literally doubled our numbers from last year. So we're excited.
Yeah. Is this? I mean, you have such a strong wrestling background, and growing up wrestling with your dad.
Yeah.
Is a lot of those lessons from you as a younger man and as a boy going through that. Is that the same kind of thing that translates into this?
Some of it for sure, but I just like to say that we continually evolve and learn as coaches, right? And you have to adapt to the changes that are happening in the wrestling landscape. And wrestling, like any other sport, it's constantly evolving. So we're trying to be at the forefront of it. We're trying to be cutting edge. We're trying to educate ourselves as coaches and always add new innovative things that we see that work throughout the world when we're traveling and seeing other people do. I mean, we just came back from Estonia not too long ago, right? And we competed with kids from 40 different countries and national teams, etc. So like, we see ideas and we immediately see what would fit into our system, the best wrestler system. And we are constantly, like I said, evolving, adapting, and innovating. So I would say that this camp is a result of that, and how we approach it and how we approach our training and how we teach these kids is definitely a result of that.
And that, again, is coming up in June. Go to thebestwrestler.com, learn more, get your young person signed up for it. Other camps going to be announced soon. That some of the smaller camps that you'll be doing will be announced soon. And I should make notice, George, that neither one of us planned to look like Alabama fans today, but we just kind of showed up wearing close to the same color here. But
Yeah, so this is actually a shirt that is Greco. It's a style of wrestling.
mhm.
But my good friends from Alaska, they did a tour around the country. They went to the Olympic Training Center to train Greco, and then we were their other destinations. So it just means a lot to us, right? They come to the
Wow.
best wrestler, and then they go to the Olympic Training Center to train Greco. So it means a lot to us. But they're the ones that gave me that shirt, and on the back of it has the best wrestler logo. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Very cool. Well, always a great time talking with you, George. I'm looking forward to continuing on and learning all of the great things that you're doing. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything that's going on there at the Best Wrestler. And I'm looking forward to talking again.
Thank you, Todd. As always, pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you.
GT Motors on Broadway in Council Bluffs has an ever-changing inventory, and they can help get you in a quality used vehicle. Trucks, large and small SUVs, passenger cars, even sports cars. GT Motors can help. Check out their inventory at gtmotorscb.com. Better yet, stop by their lot at 21st and Broadway, because there's a pretty good chance they have cars on the lot that haven't made it onto the web yet. So they even provide on-site financing. GT Motors, 21st and Broadway in Council Bluffs. Navigating the healthcare system can be challenging, frustrating, and time-consuming for you and your family. That's where My Nurse Healthcare in Council Bluffs steps in. Nurse advocates provide one-on-one guidance and support every step of the way. With a dedicated nurse by your side, you'll get the right care from the right provider at the right time. Visit mynursehealthcare.com or call 402-250-8465. Let My Nurse Healthcare take the stress out of healthcare. And S&B Country Kennel has become the top spot in Southwest Iowa when you need to know your dog will receive only the best. Boarding, daycare, grooming, self-washing, training, even membership available to a dog park that's over an acre in size. S&B Country Kennel has rescue dogs, so check them out about adoption possibilities. S&B Country Kennel, located just west of I-29 on Bungie Avenue, south of Council Bluffs. Big day today. Why? It's Infotech going on at the Luminarium. So I'm going to be over there. If you have your tickets, I'll see you there. And somebody told me that I'm emceeing a trivia contest over there today. I'm looking forward to this, because I'm guessing that every single person at this tech event is smarter than me. So just don't expose me as the new village idiot. That's all that I ask. We're going to be recording some podcast episodes there as well, talking with some of the speakers, crossing my fingers that we can get the AIM Institute's CEO, Dalla Alfonso, back on with us again. That would be a great get, and I think I can pull that off. So that's going on today, Infotech, and it's at the Luminarium in Omaha, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there at this year's event. That wraps things up for this Monday. Thank you so much for being a part of things. Thanks for all of your support and encouragement. Once again, congratulations to the CB Captains, a 2-0 win over Garwo United. They're on the road this Saturday in Des Moines and then back home the following Saturday on May 17th against Sioux Falls. So all of that is still on the way, and we'll tell you more about it as the days get closer. My name is Todd Studer. Have a great Monday.